The video you're about to watch is pretty interesting. It's a video that we took in an apartment where we had to evict the tenant for not paying the rent. News shock there. But when we went in, now this is an apartment that we manage that was remodeled not long before we took it over. And we had not had a chance to really experience it because when we took it over, there was already somebody in the apartment. So we had no way to go in and inspect it before we took it over. And they didn't pay the rent for a couple of months, and hasta la bye-bye, we had to evict them. So we did evict them. We had our first real opportunity to kind of really get a good look at this place. And as we went inside the front there, I mean, overall it wasn't bad, but then we started looking into the kitchen. Now, before this video takes place, we actually have a company that comes in and does what we call our clean outs. And our trash outs, or they're called all different things in the business. But in this case, this company came in and the place was pretty messy. I mean, there was a lot of junk. There was leftover furniture like they typically do. And you've seen some of my other videos. These are rental dumpsters, right? And so they'd left a whole bunch of crap behind. And the company comes in and they cleaned everything out of there. And in doing the cleaning, the people that were living there actually had said that the washing machine had stopped working a while back, the dryer had stopped working, but those are convenience items on these leases. So when we go in, the clean out guy had called and said, hey, listen, this washer and dryer in here, we were moving them to get some stuff. There was some clothes left behind, and there's roaches all inside of them. And that's probably why they left the clothes in there, because there was probably roaches all in their clothes and they didn't want to have to use them. So the clean out guys went ahead and took the washer and dryer outside of the place onto like this back patio area. And they were unbelievably, they were just bad. And I mean, you could open the door and there was roaches everywhere, you know. There was rat droppings all inside the washer and dryer and stuff. So they were junk, they were garbage. But when I went and toured the place, what really stood out to me was this kitchen. And the rats droppings underneath the kitchen countertops, and and as you'll see in the video, there's actually a rat trap in here. And so just watch the video, you'll see this place was actually done by a contractor now. It was actually remodeled by a contractor. And what you're going to see, that contractor did this. And this is the kind of people that are out there. They should be ashamed of themselves. A contractor charged somebody, did this kind of shameful work, and thought that's good enough. And just watch. You'll get my message. Okay, so we're going to come into the kitchen area of this apartment. I want to show you a couple things, right? So if we look at this fuse panel right here, you can see there's a gap right in there, right? And you think, oh, that's nothing, but you know, stuff can come in through that gap. But here's the big thing. As we move this way towards the other end of the little apartment, it's a little kitchen, a little galley kitchen. You know, it is what it is. But if you notice, there was a washing machine and dryer here, a stackable unit that was in here. And the washing machine had long since quit working. The dryer quit working. They were full of roaches. When they pulled them out, they were full of roaches. But this apartment had been plagued with rats getting in. And on the outside of the building, in the soffits, there was vents, and they had covered them with screens. The rats had chewed in a few times. They covered them with screens, and so forth and so on. But once they're in the building, typically through that and other ways they get into the eaves, then they come in here, and this is how they get in. You see that gap right down in there? Between that wall? Goes up there? That's, the rat can come in that. That's like a grand front door of a hotel right there. Underneath this vent, look in there. Look at that. Rats come right in there. They might as well have a welcome sign out there. Down here, look at that. That's where rats, they come inside the wall from the attic. They creep down inside the walls, and then they get these portals to nature, let's just call them. This is where rats love to come in, right? They will come right in this, and you can see where they did drywall. Now, what you can't see around this corner, I can't stretch the phone around there, but it's actually, there's nothing back there, right? It's open. So they're coming in. A rat can squeeze through that gap, much less these holes, and then we'll come up here to the top. This is where their washing machine drain is, which, assuming it's hooked to the plumbing, but you can see this, you know, it's got a gap around here for sure. And somebody tried to fill it in with some spray foam, but look. Now, you can't really see it. There's gnaw marks all down in here. The rats gnawed through it and come inside. So then they get inside the apartment. They get all in the cabinets, right? They get in the appliances. They get in the house. But look down here. It can be tough to see, but you can see the bottom of this cabinet. See that? That's where a rat chewed through. So then they get in the cabinets, and then you have water damage inside there on top of that. See it? See the water damage? So, look at the bottom in here. It's already falling out. You can see it. The bottom has fell out of here. And the reason for it is because water's been leaking in. This sink pours. Look in there in the back. You can see where they put the spray foam trying to stop rats. But if you notice, right on the top of it, I'm going to try to zoom in here a little bit on it so you can see. See where the rats chewed through? The rats chewed that through the foam to get inside. Hey, hungry as rats. Hey, some hungry rats. But look here. Does anybody notice the problem here? Yeah. Probably where all the water was coming from. See that? See that? See that? So, when you got water, you got ways for rats to come in. They're going to come in. The only problem is, those rats have buddies. You know what those buddies are? Those buddies are roaches. Now, you know how we got roaches? See in the corner down there? That's all roach crap. The drawers are missing. The shelves are all missing. This is broken. And, you know, if we go over here to the other cabinets, the other side, see all that at the bottom of there? It's all roach crap. Look at that. You got a little mouse trap in there. They were trying to catch the mice that were coming into this place. Look at all the roach crap and mouse crap inside of here. It's unbelievable. So when they get into the stove, I'm going to try and catch them on here, but the stove is disgusting. You see that? It's disgusting. And they get rats and roaches, and stove's bad. They go through here, and then the refrigerator stinks really bad. It's got food in there. There's actually roaches in the thing. I can't leave it open very long, but there's actually roaches in there. So that's one of the things we run into when you're doing property management.